What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video we got part 2 of the Great League Battle of Spice, this time featuring 11 battles, which makes for some pretty awkward numbers when it comes to the voting later, but there were surprisingly 2 submissions that featured the exact same theme team and just 1 Pokemon difference, so I've decided you can't really separate those in terms of the Spice that we use since they're basically the same, so I'm actually going to group them together, and if they win then both trainers will get a win. Also, I'm showcasing every single Great League submission unless you sent in multiple teams, in which case I've just chosen my favorite team that you submitted. Finally, I want to make a point. I know recently I've stressed about how I want to see people fully committing to the Spice they bring and therefore making sure everything is powered up as much as it possibly can be and double moved, but I'm sure some of you are worried that your submissions will just be instantly ignored if you don't do either of those things, but please don't lie about it on the submissions form. Don't claim everything is fully powered up if that's not the case, and don't exaggerate and say you're only a few XL short of maxing the Pokemon that were used when actually you've got 2 Pokemon that still require 10 plus power-ups to get to level 50. I will try to be as lenient as possible. Like, realistically, it's only going to be the very extreme cases where you've used an entire team that could be level 50 but you've not even powered them up past level 40, or if your whole team is single moved. Those are the circumstances where I will just reject those instantly, but especially this time I didn't receive that many submissions, so I was able to include every single one, but I really would just appreciate it if people are fully transparent when filling out the form. Anyways, with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. What has been your favorite theme team that I've ever showcased on the channel? This can be from a previous Battle of Spice, or it could just be from a regular video of mine. Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, going to lead Vivillon into an Ariados. So a very good matchup for us. I'm going to be completely honest here, I know literally nothing about the different patterns for Vivillon. I don't even own a single one. I don't know if this is like one of the rare patterns or one of the more common ones, but either way, they go for a lunge, they debuff our attack. We're now going to chip with an Aerial Ace. I don't think that was really necessary, as of course we do have a very hard answer in the form of Komala, and even with a debuff to our attack with the Icy Wind, I'm sure a payback would get the KO anyways. But now we're actually going to commit to a full farm down, but we're going to have to use a shield, and when we come out of this matchup we're going to be double debuff, so I'm not really sure about this play so far, but if they come back in with Ariados, a payback, even double debuffed, will hit very hard here, so we go for the payback. Payback goes unshielded, they swap into Toxapex. I personally would have liked to see us actually just bank this energy, because this is not going to do much damage. The opponent no shields that, we come in with the Bonsly, and this is an example where the trainer said that all 3 Pokemon were fully powered up, but actually I looked into the CPs that Bonsly can reach, and actually it can get very close to 1500 CP, and this is very far off that, so I think this is only like level 41 or level 42, so yeah, definitely nowhere near fully powered up, which is a little bit disappointing. I wish they would have just been truthful on their submission, but either way, we're still putting in work. We're able to make it to another Rock Tomb, throwing on what looks to be a CMP tie as well, which is perfect for us, literally best case scenario. Debuffing their attack once again. Of course, they can clear that debuff by swapping back into Ariados, but they don't really want to swap into other villain. Now here, we actually wait there, making sure the opponent doesn't make that catch there. We go for the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace gets the KO, and we're able to get the Gust Farm down up against Ariados and take that game. Into next battle, Shadow Groudon into Dragonite, but we're actually running Dragon Tail as a fast move. The opponent swaps into Dugong, and we can come in with our Heatran. Now, of course, if they go for Drill Run, that's double super effective, probably one-shots us, and they actually do full send the Drill Run there, which is kind of interesting. I feel like that would have been a pretty safe bait for the opponent there, but either way, we're going to go for the Magma Storm. Magma Storm grabs the shield. Unfortunately, they will just outpace us now because we were a little bit slow to swap out each time, but either way, the opponent's going to go for another Drill Run here. We're going to overfarm as much as possible, farming up to back-to-back Magma Storms, but unfortunately, that is another CMP tie. So Magma Storm actually goes unshielded this time here. We're now going to go for another Magma Storm. The opponent, they might end up shielding this anyways. They do end up shielding, and they swap into Chestnut. We can come in with Bucephalon, and the opponent just instantly concedes the match there, and we're able to take that game. Honestly, Frenzy Plant probably would have one-shot the Bucephalon there, so they could have stayed in. But either way, into the next battle, going to see a Gothorita Shadow into a Clodsire. This is actually a very positive matchup for us. And Shadow Gothorita, honestly, it's actually kind of bulky, you know. They go for a Stone Edge there. We tank that pretty well, considering we are a Shadow Pokemon, and we can very comfortably win the Zero Shield scenario here. So we go for a Psychic. Psychic gets the KO there. They come in with Malamar, and we're going to swap into our Struggle Bug, Shadow Anorith, and 2 Struggle Bugs landing up against Malamar. did absolutely huge damage there. We now go for a cross poison. Unfortunately, cross poison is resisted damage, but it doesn't really matter. We've got such a good core breaker to their team in the form of our Shadow Butterfree in the back, especially if we are running the Legacy Bug Bite variation here. So, of course, we can just no-shield this. The opponent goes for a Body Slam. We're probably going to shield the next one if they do throw here. Are we going to shield this? Let's actually find out. We are going to shield. The opponent goes for a Body Slam there, and we are going to see the opponent actually reaches another charge move just barely, which is unfortunate for us. The opponent goes for Earth Power this time. What on earth? Why would they do that? That's literally triple resisted, and at this point, we can just safely shield this up, commit to a full Bug Bite farm down here, and it should be very comfortable for us. Bug Bite gets the KO up against the Malamar, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, we've got a triple Shadow Claw team here, leading into Clodsire once again. So unfortunately, the energy of the Purugly isn't that useful here. Aerial Ace just not that great of a move, especially when it's non-stab. They go for a Stone Edge. We're now going to swap into Gengar. I don't mind this play at all because, of course, Gengar is going to double resist the Poison Sting damage, but they make a brilliant catch there, catching the Shadow Ball onto Mandibuzz, which maybe we should have seen a catch coming. But either way, at this point, we probably just let the Gengar go down here. We are Aerial Ace. Actually, no, they don't even go for the Dark Pulse there. Aerial Ace does not get the KO. We're able to make it to a Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb puts them into Aerial Ace range, which is actually very nice for us. We are running Thunder, so of course Thunder we could have gone for, but instead we come in with our Sneasler, which I'm not so sure about at all. Of course, we're going to have to shield these Aerial Aces, and actually if we don't throw a charge move, okay, we can swap Make a Catch onto our Purugly. But I'm not really sure about that at all. But either way, they're going to swap back into Clodsire, and we're able to read that, throw the Aerial Ace straight away, even grab a shield there, which is pretty nice for us, because Aerial Ace from Purugly not going to do much damage, as we can see, but we've now put them into range where a few more Shadow Claws and an Aerial Ace from our Shadow Sneasler probably will get the KO. So Aerial Ace grabs the final shield. We throw on CMP here, so we are going to no shield, and it's just the Stone Edge. Stone Edge is resisted damage. Poison Sting's also resisted. We go for the Aerial Ace immediately here. Aerial Ace gets the KO up against the Clodsire. We've still got a shield. The opponent comes back in with Mandibuzz just to be Shadow Claw farmed down. And let's see, they've got a Shadow for Alligator in the back. Pretty much the most basic team the opponent could run. Close combat gets the KO, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, and this is another example where the trainer that submitted the battles did exaggerate just slightly here. They said they were just a few levels shy of level 50, but actually I looked into the CPs, and by the way, this Aron I think they said is a Nundo, which I'm not really sure why you'd power up a Nundo anyways, but I think this is about level 44 or level 45, and the same is for the Roggenrola there. And also this trainer submitted this battle with like the loudest and craziest music like I've ever heard, most chaotic music I've ever heard, and it was like a proper jump scare when I played the battle. Please don't do that. Please either have the music quieter than what it was or just submit it silently. That would be definitely ideal for us. Obviously you're not going to hear the music here, so it doesn't really matter, but either way I thought it was kind of funny, but yeah, definitely caught me off guard. Either way, we're going to go for a Grass Knot into the Bastiodon, and we put them into possibly Fairy Wind farm down range. We're going to go over 100 energy, so I really like this play actually, coming in with the Roggenrola, getting the Smackdown farm down, and they're going to come back in with the Gyarados. Of course, Gyarados is going to be completely walled by our Whimsicott, so it makes sense to come in here, but of course, they are taking huge damage from these Smackdowns, despite the fact that Smackdown was nerfed this season, and we get the full farm down, which is huge for us. We're now going to go for a Rock Blast bait here, and Rock Blast is only 40 energy, so we can just go and fire off a Stone Edge straight away now. Stone Edge will do some pretty decent damage here. We can swap back into Whimsicott. We get low battery, but it doesn't matter. We've got back-to-back charge moves. First Grass Knot, going to grab the final shield here. The opponent will throw a charge move of their own, but it doesn't matter. They're not at back-to-back Seed Bombs, so we can go and fire off the Moonblast. We could have settled for a Grass Knot, but of course Moonblast is going to be more than enough damage to take out the Trevenant, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, we're going to see a Shadow Fortress into low kicks, and I don't know why, but this battle seems to be in like 5 FPS, and this is at double speed as well, so I am hoping that it's just an issue with their screen recorder. I hope their battles don't look like this, because this would be very painful to carry out day by day, just doing battles at like 2 FPS in real time. But either way, we get the KO there with the Rock Tomb. They're going to come in with a Dugong, and we are just barely not able to make it to a Rock Tomb, but we might be able to live a Drill Run here. So Drill Run actually doesn't get the the KO, which is huge for us. Now we can go for another Rock Tomb here. Rock Tomb should be grabbing a shield this time around, and it does. Of course, it debuffs their attack, which is very nice. We're going to come in with a Shadow Miss Magius, and the opponent's going to come in with a Toxapex, and that's actually quite good for us because we are running Psywave. I can't really tell what's going on here because these battles are at like 5 FPS, like I've mentioned, but either way, the opponent going to fire off a Brine. We do tank that fairly well. We're going to come in with a Psywave Miss Drevis as well, which is very nice. We can shield up the Brine this time around here, and we're going to go for a full Psywave farm down. We are just barely not able to get the farm down there as the opponent can swap out, but either way, we got such a huge energy advantage. We go for Shadow Sneak. Shadow Sneak, not the best move there, so it really doesn't do much damage. Should have gone for a Dark Pulse straight away because now we're debuffed, and we should just be going for Dark Pulse anyways because it is a much better move than Shadow Sneak. But either way, we put them into range where we can go for a Psywave farm down on the Miss Magius, go for a Psywave farm down up against the Toxapex, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, we've got a triple level 50 super bulky bug team here with Ledian in the lead running counter, also shiny, which is very cool. The opponent's going to say swap into Azumarill, so we come in with our Swadloon here. Unfortunately, Bug Bite is resisted, but so is Bubble, and then go for an Ice Beam. But you're going to see we're going to be able to tank that reasonably comfortably actually. There's no way they can Bubble Farm us down. We're now going to go for the Energy Ball, and Energy Ball does big damage up against the Azumarill. Unfortunately, they will outpace us to the next charge move, but we're actually going to shield this and then go for a full Bug Bite farm down. If they come back in with the Galarian Stunfisk, the good thing is we're going to double resist the Mud Shot damage, so there's no way they can farm us down either. They will have to get rid of their energy, and of course, Rock Slide being double super effective up against our Ledian, it's kind of good that they can't farm us down here because otherwise that would be a nightmare for us. But either way, Rock Slide gets the KO here. We can come back in with our Ledian, and we are bulky enough to tank a Rock Slide fairly comfortably as well. We're going to go and fire off an Aerial Ace just before they make it to that next Rock Slide. Aerial Ace grabs the shield there, and we're going to no shield here as the opponent goes to the Rock Slide, and the opponent's going to swap into a Dragonite, so we bank an Aerial Ace. Possibly could have thrown it before swapping out, but either way, we come in with our Dustox, and Dustox is also super bulky. You're going to see we tank that Dragon Claw with ease, and this is a level 50 Dustox, I do believe. We go for Silver Wind. It's resisted damage, but we get the boost, and that's huge for us. Again, we can no shield this, and we might even still get a full Confusion farm down, and we do get that farm down, also leaving with very minimal HP, which is literally the perfect scenario for us. Now we can come in with the Ledian, just safely shield up the Rock Slide, go for one more counter, take out the Stunfisk, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, and this attack from Deoxys, I believe, is single move, but you're going to see, I will slightly spoil this, it doesn't even reach a Psycho Boost, so it doesn't really matter for this battle. But anyway, we swap into Bibarel, and the opponent comes in with a Talonflame, which is such an odd response to our Bibarel. We're going to no shield though, the opponent goes for Fly. They do maintain alignment here, which maybe is a mistake on our end. We do get the Poison Jab farm down, but we're not even going to reach a Psycho Boost, which is very embarrassing for the Deoxys there. But we can come in with our Fire running the buff Sucker Punch, gonna shield this up as the opponent goes for a Shadow Punch bait there, which is unfortunate for us, but they come in with a Dugong, and Dugong probably gonna shield the first charge move here, as of course they can go for Icy Wind, which means we're able to grab the shield with the Brick Break, also drop their defense. So even though they debuff our attack, we've debuffed their defense, so it basically cancels out, and now we can full send a Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam, will this be enough damage to get the one shot? Yes, it does get the one shot. Two more Sucker Punches, takes out the Golurk, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, we're going to see a Shadow Cowboy Hat Snorlax in the lead up against Feraligatr. So I did mention that Cowboy Hat Snorlax in the Shadow variant was very rare in the previous video, but we've seen two of them in the same sort of group of submissions, which is pretty interesting to see. Unfortunately, this throw is running, I think that might be Low Kick as the fast move. Its other option is Zen Headbutt, which is pretty good for the Psychic Cup, but specifically only for the Psychic Cup because it's just a very awful move. And unfortunately, yeah, its fast moves are just pretty bad in general. But we've got Sulk in the back. Sulk should be running Poison Jab, which is going to hit very hard in this matchup here. We probably will be shielding this charge move here. Nope, never mind. We're not going to shield. We tank the Weather Ball just barely, not particularly well, and they come in with a Clodsire. We're not going for Body Slam. We go for Brick Break, hoping to grab a shield there, but we're not able to do so. And that is definitely not ideal for us. But either way, we come back in with the Shadow Snorlax. The opponent is going to go for a charge move there, which we shield, and unfortunately, we can't really go for Superpower because that will debuff our attack and our defense. So instead, committing to a full Lick farm down here, and we're not able to get that farm down down either, which is super harsh for us. But the opponent might not expect an earthquake here. They've still got 2 shields in play. We full send the earthquake, and that does huge damage to the Clodsire. We then make the perfect catch there, and the opponent hanging on to these shields. It's just game over now. We can just come in with the Snorlax, go for the Lick Farm down, taking out the Clodsire, and we're able to take that game. Alright, now going into the 2 themes that were pretty much the same here is the US election theme team. And by the way, I did not make the graphics here. These were sent in to me, but I thought it was quite funny. We've got Joe Bidoof, Bibarro, sorry. They did say it would have been better with Bidoof, but they just didn't have a Bidoof. We've then got Kamala Harris, and we've got a Donald, what's this thing called? Donald Trump shoes, I guess. I guess that's what we're going with. But either way, we're going to go for a Hyper Fang into this Licky Tongue. Does some decent damage there, but unfortunately, we are running, I think that might be Takedown as a fast move. One of the worst fast moves in the game. But either way, we can come in with our Bibarro here, or Biden Barrel, I don't know what the heck we're calling it, but either way, we are going to shield this up. Could be a Power Whip here, and the opponent does go for Power Whip, which is fine with us. And the opponent does actually swap out there. We're going to go for a Hyper Fang, which makes literally 0 sense at all. Why are we going for a resisted charge move when we could have just gone for Surf? I don't honestly, like, I'm thrown off by the graphics here, but the plays that we've made so far in this battle on either end are very strange as well. But either way, get a shield, and it's another Fell Stinger bait, which is very unfortunate. We're now going for Play Rough. Yep, don't really understand that. I guess it would KO anyways from that range. And then the opponent doesn't bother throwing a charge move, instead swapping into Clodsire. Fine with us. We go for a Payback. Payback does some decent damage here. We can come in with the barrel, and we are, of course, all shields are down. They go for a Sludge Bomb. They could have just gone for an Earthquake and possibly taken us out there, but instead they give us a lifeline. We can now go for a Surf. Surf gets the KO there. They're going to come back in with Togedemaru, and they overfarm too much here. They might be at back-to-back charge moves. They go for Fell Stinger, and they were at back-to-back charge moves. If it's a wild charge, it's game over, but it's just another Fell Stinger. So Kamala lives that. We get the roll-up farm down, and we're able to take that game. And into the final battle, another USA election theme team, this time with Staraptor in the lead. And if you're wondering what that is, it's supposed to represent America. I think maybe Braviary would have been a better choice, but either way, it's, you know, sort of eagle-like Pokemon. But either way, we're going to go for a close combat here up against the Umbreon, dealing huge damage. We then come in with a Bite Gumshoes this time around. The opponent's going to go for a last resort, which does some decent damage, but we can get the Bite farm down. Now the opponent's going to wait up their switch clock here, thinking about what to do. They come in with Azumarill and Bite, awful energy generation, but we are just barely able to make it to the Hyper Fang on the CMP tire, which is literally perfect for us. Hyper Fang does some decent damage. We can let the Gumshoes go down at this point, or Donald Trump go down. They actually undercharge that, which is quite smart, but we're going to swap into Kamala here. And we are going to shield up the charge move as Kamala, fairly glassy. They go for an Ice Beam, and we are going to throw at the last second. We go for Play Rough here, which is the right move to go for this time around. Play Rough grabs the shield there, and at this point, if we shield, maybe we can go for a full roll-up farm down up against the Azumarill. So I don't mind this play. The opponent actually swaps into Skeledirge. We're running Payback. We full send the Payback. Payback gets the one shot. They come back in with Azumarill, and we're actually not going to get the full farm down, but we snipe with a Bite from the Gumshoes, and we take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated, and with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.